Hey, hi guys. So let's get into this. This is going to be a today's topic video. It is for the 1st of August. Let's take a look and see what do we start with. The Thinker, card number 44. So it may be that we have a character who needs like a moment to collect their energy. Sometimes it's not even collect our thoughts. Sometimes it's like we gather the energy of the universe, and with that comes like the intelligence of the cosmos, and we kind of need to receive it, let it flood into us. This could be a character who's asking for either guidance from the cosmos, or perhaps they do need to take a moment and say, okay, internally, what do I know to be true? Let me check in with my own heart. Let me get an answer from inside of me. I don't know yet if it's let me draw in from the external world, or is it let me access something within myself for a moment? This could be 44 seconds. There could be something that the number 44, or seeing repeating numbers, 444, maybe this is a time. Maybe it's, 44 minutes past the hour. Whatever this is, there could be something important about that. Fours are balanced numbers anyway, so I'm going to say this is a character that is going to pause for just a moment and get themselves energetically balanced. But let's see, what are they either thinking about, or what is it that's like coming toward them? Hi, everyone. So great to see you tonight, everybody. We have got 8 of Pentacles. Okay, so it's something about work. It's something about, I don't know if somebody's going to be thinking about a divine feminine for a moment and like gathering like inspiration from her, or if this is a divine feminine who's going to be like, I know I'm the kind of person where if I need to prepare myself, and I'm an introvert, right? So I have to prepare myself to be extroverted, and I sometimes have to think myself through so that I mentally prep for being extroverted in scenarios. So this could be somebody who's like, okay, before I interact, let me first walk my brain through and walk my, just like warming anything up, right? Athletes warm up before they run. This could be somebody who's warming up mentally before they engage, either going to work, maybe they work a night shift, or this is something that they're needing. I feel like they're needing to warm up. 7 of Cups. They also have to do with this thing where they plan the outcome that they want. Look, anything that we're about to do in life can go a lot of different ways. So let's use a scenario. Let's say somebody's about to, on the 1st, they need to prepare themselves for some work-related scenario. And they go, okay, let me first, as I'm warming up, let me also envision the outcome that I want. The same way, like, they say great athletes, let's say basketball players, golfers, whatever, they, remind their bodies of the motions that they're going to be going through, but they also, like, part of it is that mental visualization. They envision making a bunch of baskets. They envision, hearing the crowd cheer. They envision winning, at the end of the game. It's like our character needs to picture the end goal and say, I know this could go a lot of different ways, but let me envision how I'm going to walk in, how I'm going to handle myself, and then what do I actually want the outcome to be, so that now I kind of already have pre-rehearsed this chapter of my life. Because remember, I'm the leading character in my own life. I can write how this is going to go. I think they are setting their intentions, and we literally see they're picking the blue one. I don't know if somebody's going to be putting on something symbolic. Maybe this is like, okay, what piece of jewelry do I want to wear? What good luck charm do I want to wear? I feel like somebody might put on a particular piece of jewelry, and then it's like, all right, now it's go time. Knight of Wands. I've envisioned it. I've planned it. I've prepared myself. I can see what I want. Now I can go for it. The Knight of Wands is, knights are action takers. Knight of Wands is like, I'm going to totally throw my energy at this, my creativity, maybe my sensuality into this, but I'm picturing what I want the outcome to be. Now, let me pause for a second and say, at the very beginning, I was suggesting another storyline, and I'm going to say it now because I feel like this is a masculine, yet we've been dealing with a feminine. I'm wondering if we have a masculine here with fairy wings on. I'm wondering, remember, this is a 4-4 card, so we could certainly be dealing with two different people that are kind of like, someone could be inspired, somebody could be thinking about her, setting their intentions about how they want things to go. What would she be proud of? What would she like? I'm thinking about her right now, and that's giving me the strength to then, take this action. So somebody could be still working in their mind through, what they'd like to do, but it's with a consideration of her. See, we got the Ace of Wands. This is two people staring at each other. This is definitely a shared energy, but they're like on other sides of like the looking glass. I don't know what that means, but they're on opposite sides. They're not in the same like geographical place, but they're definitely in each other's like minds, maybe. Again, it's a 4-4, so we were going to see some kind of mirrored imagery here. This is, it's like we're walking the line between like maybe a romance or maybe just two people that like are energetically aware of each other's presence and, sensing support. And it's like, I want to put my mind, toward her for a moment, as I set my intentions, and then I'm going to carry her. Oh, that song, I'm carrying your love with me, West Virginia down to Tennessee. I'll be moving with the good Lord's speed, carrying your love with me. There's a country song. I think he's like a truck driver or something in that song, but he's, it's like she's riding right beside him. 7 of Swords. Okay, the feminine is acting, at least to casual observers, like, I don't know about that. What do you mean? We are like energetically on other sides of the glass, but aware of each other and supporting each other. I think this is a secret. It's a secret that they both know. Knight of Swords. She's definitely keeping a like tight wrap on this, but they both kind of have the same stance, right? They both are kind of like, look, this is just between us. This is like, I feel this about you. I'm sending you good vibes. I know you're receiving them. I know he seems to be the action taker. Again and again, we see him as a knight. She seems to be aware that she has a connection to him, but she suppresses it, downplays it, hides it. He's not doing that for himself. He's not hiding it. Okay. 4 of Cups sideways. I don't know. This is starting to feel like, I know this isn't the moon card, okay? But I've never seen a 4 of Cups card like this before, where it may as well be the moon. Because again, we just saw her not being straightforward, right? We saw her kind of hiding this. There's a very clandestine vibe to this entire story. And for her, a 4 of Cups can be illusions. It can be disappointment. It can be boredom. I'm going to go with illusions because she stands in front of the full moon. And the full moon is, it can illuminate what's hidden, but it can also talk about our subconscious. And I feel like she's trying to pretend that she doesn't know that there's some kind of, like they're right there on the other side of the glass from her, that they think about her, or that she's somehow an already integral part of someone else's like life choices and planning. She's kind of trying to dismiss that and be like, I have no proof of that. I mean, how would I know that? So it's ridiculous to think that, but it's right there. It's right there. So, this is one of those stories where you can deny what you know, but you don't usually have two people on an Ace of Wands. An ace is personal. You should only have one person on it. And yet here we have this mirrored image. I knew this one was going to be funky once we saw card 44. So she's kind of trying to like overly rationalize and, dismiss things. But Temperance is also, it's a card of great balance. And typically we see, like 2 cups of water, one being poured into the other. And this card, they chose to just keep it more simple. They didn't give us like 2 beverage decanters or anything. Instead, it's just kind of like we see this very elaborate gown and dress draping down from each of her arms. But it's always about balance. So, this is one of those things you can run, but you can't hide because I'm not leaving unless you come with me. Oh, that song's in my head now, too. Is that Phil Collins? Yeah. It might have been when he's with Genesis. Chariot in the reverse. It's so funny because I was just quoting that song, you can run, but you can't hide because I'm not leaving unless you come with me. And they're the chariots in the reverse. Like, listen, we're connected. I'm not going anywhere. It feels like there is this sense of peace, even as she's trying to deny things. That feeling is not going to evaporate. That feeling of somebody being right on the other side of the glass is not going to evaporate. Okay, can we get a little less vague? Sorry, but I'm like, can we dial this in just a smidge? First off, oops, hang on. I got 2 decks mushed together there. Okay, can we just see what's a big message for the Thinker card? We've got a 6 of Wands, we have the Empress, and we have the Star. So definitely, and we're in like Hollywood, California here. I definitely am going to stick with that original interpretation of somebody is thinking like, even of if she's at a great distance, whatever they're about to do in their own life, they're thinking about her and like, what would she like? What would make her proud? What kinds of things should I do? This is like our masculine is thinking heavily about a divine feminine, that they care about her opinion somehow, is how that comes across. Okay. Let's change decks. Let's go to the other one I had come to pick up. Tell me about this feminine, because she was trying to lie to herself. 5 of Swords in the reverse. Hang on. 9 of Cups and the Star. So again, there is some element of like distance. We saw that she doesn't want to like tell herself fantasy tales, but we can already tell that, look, this ship has already set sail, okay? And for as much as she's like trying to deny what she knows, she's not really fighting it that hard. The ship has already left the port and is out to sea with her heart on it. There is some like grand connection. I feel like these two have like, maybe they share the same star, like literally, like, there's different stars that are associated with, different birth dates. Maybe they're born under the same star. Maybe there's some reason that they connect. As we get the Star twice for her. She could be an Aquarius, by the way. But there's this element where she acts like she's trying to dismiss the connection that exists, but she's not doing a very good job of it. 7 of Pentacles. She has felt their presence for a very long time. Very long time. And this isn't supposed to be a card of spying or anything like that, but I look at it that way. But it's not exactly spying so much as it is in this story, especially. It's like I can feel someone's energetic presence because they're on the back of my mind. It doesn't mean that like, oh, I can tell they're, spying on me. It's more like she carries them in the back of her own mind, which is probably why she's been adamant about like not overselling this to herself and getting caught up in a fantasy, because she's saying, I might think of them, but let's not oversell it and be like, oh, I'm sure they're thinking of me too. Now, in this storyline, we have the advantage of being able to see, oh, they definitely think about her. Let's turn to them now. We'll go with this deck. It's near. It's pretty. So 2 of Pentacles. And this is like, I have this image of, I know I'm old, so forgive me for dating myself right now, but once upon a time when we were still kids, I remember we had like a TV that we didn't we didn't really watch much TV ever as kids because there were big chunks of time where we didn't even own one. But at one point we did, and it was like, didn't get reception, and you had to like twist the little antenna or like lean over and hold it, and it would be like trying to get your brother to like stand there and just hold it while you got to watch a part of a cartoon or something. Like, no, just stand right there, don't move, hold it up higher. And I feel like for him, I don't know if there's this energy of like raise that antenna up so that there's better reception for the two of them to give and send and receive messages. I mean, the Two of Pentacles is usually it's about juggling or it's about balancing. Let me get another one for him. The Star again. Okay, so there's definitely something about the stars or being written in the stars. There's a great song by the Frames. Stars, stars, teach me how to shine, shine, teach me so I know what's going on in your mind. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the quote. Five of Pentacles. I'm feeling like in his mind, I don't know why we have the Star all three times, but we do have three different decks. I'm feeling like in his mind, either he like has this desire to like heal some energy in her. Maybe that's why he thinks a lot about her, even to the point of like considering before he's, doing something. And I still got to figure out what it is that he's about to do, because he's a knight. Knights are action takers, and he was two different knights. But it's like he considers her before he takes action. And it has to do with like, I feel like he has very good intentions. Like if somebody is thinking about somebody, wants to heal them, wants to send, warmth and love, sees somebody and sees either a wounded energy and wants to be somebody that helps balance that out for another person, that I would say he has very good intentions. Let me take another look here. King of Swords, Nine of Wands. He definitely has honorable intentions. He's dressed as a samurai. And again, he sees her as somebody who is wounded. Okay, so hang on. What action are you about to take? Now we can call him a King of Swords. We finally got a name for him. What action is it that you are preparing to take? We got a Five of Cups sideways. I keep feeling like he wants to alleviate some kind of hurt that he perceives her as having. Knight of Cups in the reverse. I'm feeling like he just thinks he can treat her a lot better. We got a Six of Cups and a Knight of Swords. This does feel like a storyline that's as plain and simple as he's been thinking a lot about reaching out to her. He's been thinking a lot about how would she prefer to receive, a message from him. He thinks very highly of her, but he also sees her as somebody who's been hurt. He sees her as a soulmate, and he sees her as somebody that he wants to connect to, somebody he wants to start dialoguing with. And I feel like she has known this for a period of time. It's like this is just two people who haven't yet begun a real conversation, but it was kind of like only a matter of time before that was going to happen. And as much as she's kind of tried to suppress that and be like, no, I mean, what, just because he's on my mind sometimes doesn't mean he's thinking about me. I could see why he would have picked up the vibe that, oh, I think she's been wounded, because that is kind of like, somebody who's been disappointed before and they don't want to tell themselves happy stories or pick up on like obvious signs and signals that, oh, he's interested in me. She's continuously dismissing it. And he's like, I can see she's been wounded. I want to approach her like carefully. I want to approach her with respect. And I want to think about how do I approach her, because I want to handle it right, especially if I'm dealing with somebody who's been hurt before. So he's very considerate in this. I mean, like over the top, bending over backwards, considerate and thoughtful about this approach. And meanwhile, she's continuously telling herself that's not going to happen. This person's not going to approach me. It's probably me who's thought about them, not a two-way street. So she's worked very hard to convince herself of that. And she is incorrect in this storyline. She is totally incorrect. Ace of Pentacles. You know what's kind of nice? I think she's coming to the end of the road of denying it or even thinking about it. I think she's just going to let things be and just let nature take its course. And the Ace of Pentacles is, look, I've come to the end of my thoughts about this. I don't want to keep telling myself what will or won't happen. I'm just gonna calm down and just, if I ever hear from this person, cool. If not, I don't need to think about it, obsess over it, or bother pushing it out of my mind. Let me just be for a change. I think that's way better for her. I think that's better energy for her to be in. But ironically, I think that's about when they're going to be reaching out, because on August 1st, it seems like they are thinking a lot about, the presentation, the step forward. How do I connect to her? What's the best way for me to approach? So I'm feeling like this is happening really, really, really soon, if not on the 1st, then somewhere very swiftly thereafter. And she did need to get to the point of like no longer telling yourself this isn't going to happen, or let me lie to myself some more. She needed to kind of just chill out and let things flow, because we can see this is happening. But I think it's been a while that she's continuously told herself that I'm tripping. They're not thinking about me. There's no way I'm going to hear from this person. This is just up in my head, and I'm not going to tell myself any fantasies. Okay. Do we have one final message in all this? I really want this deck. What is our final message here? We got the Six of Wands. Well, he's going to be coming in like feeling pretty sassy, pretty happy here. Six of Wands is success. He's going to approach joyfully because this is something he wants to do. We have the Death card here as well, sideways. Some Scorpio energy coming in. This is different for him too. I think the entire context of this connection is a little bit different than usual. This is two people, I think, outside of their comfort zones, but he's not afraid of this. We have a Nine of Pentacles and we have the Nine of Cups. It's funny because both of them have a certain amount of just, personal happiness, personal clout, personal, nines are, before we get to the 10, when we start to like share everything with another person, nines are like kind of a self-fulfillment energy. For her, we see her at that Nine of Pentacles feeling, accomplished, feeling like many things in her tree of life are going well. We see him, happy, kind of self-satisfied. But I'm wondering if this, they do mirror each other in that, like some personal, satisfaction energy. With this Knight of Wands, though, in the reverse, this is not going to be a fleeting romance. This is like, I think that's why this is so different. There's nothing very lighthearted about these two. They're actually both in pretty good places. Even though we've seen her as someone that he views as having been wounded in the past, we also see her as strong. And it's just so interesting because I think that this is going to feel really good to get out of their comfort zone because they're both in a good place for it. But this is not going to be a lighthearted romance. Neither one of them is headed for something that's just going to be like a dabble in a little bit of passion. Because once again, we got that King of Swords. I think he knows that already too. That's not what he's coming in for. He's coming in with, we already saw it, like honor. I do think he's attracted to her, but he's also coming in with the intention of being like somebody who wants to talk to her. Can I just ask why? Why do you want to talk to her? We've got this King of Pentacles now, because I would like to get to know her. I'd like to have something stable, something continuous, something where there's a flow of shared energy here. Okay, so we have him with some pretty big plans. I definitely feel like he's had his sights set on her for some time, which is just so ironic because she's continuously convinced herself that that's not the case. Do we have one last card just for her? No, we have two. So we have a Nine of Wands, which again is that wounded warrior. And then we've got this Knight of Pentacles. She has been at this final stage just in this one area of her life. We saw her as pretty whole and stable with the Nine of Pentacles. But then we also see her as that wounded warrior, which is not the first time we've seen her as that Knight of Wands. We've seen her as that twice now. because they saw her that way. So they're pretty spot on. They've read her quite well, but she has been at this stage of not fully having healed, even though she's a Nine of Pentacles, which is a stable person who knows their worth. We can still know our worth and have a wound. And I think this is interesting because it's almost like he is correct. He spotted her, he sees that she has a wound, and there is something that, like, he wants to be able to tell her something, support her in some way. He sees her as incredibly valuable and attractive, but it's like he wants to tell her that because he can see that there's still this underlying injury. And I think it may have to do with love. I think that's the primary reason that, he's been able to see that on her pretty raw. He can spot that. I think that's the other thing that he's drawn to her for. I'm not saying he's like, oh, look, a wounded bird that I can go and, fix her wings and make her fly again. But I will say this, if you meet somebody and you can just tell they're a good person who hasn't been treated very well, sometimes it's like, you know what? I would love to be the person who, like, shows them that good people are out there and that, like, restores their faith. Like, this kind of looks like we've got a divine masculine who's like, I want to be the one that she, like, heals because she meets me. I want to be the one that she kind of, like, melts into, the one that she feels safe with. I want to be the one that changes her opinion about, things that have hurt her. I want to be that person. I think it would be a huge, we saw that Six of Wands. He likes the idea of being the person that she might choose to trust. And he's definitely coming in very honorable. All right, I'm going to leave that there. You guys, thank you so much. Sorry that got so long. Oh, Shell, it's my pleasure, hon. You are so sweet. Hi, Carol. Thank you for being here. RS Love, Black Butterfly 25. Great to see you so late tonight. Sweet, thanks again. Hello, Misha. How are you? Definitely. We will get to Virgo again tomorrow. Virgo will be the first one that I do tomorrow. I'm going to get some sleep for right now, but I'll see you guys in about 7 hours, 8 hours from now. I'm so glad you're looking forward to another Virgo. You better believe it. Thank you so much, Sandy. Thank you for reminding me. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up, you guys. Hi, Kendra. So glad you're here. It's so true. That's such a great way to look at it. We're all under the same moon after all. Oh, that's a great song by the Revivalists. Oh gosh, something about, and you could share my, maybe it says mood, but I always sang it as you can share my moon. Godzilla MC, awesome to see you tonight also, honey. 44 is Sir Lewis Hamilton's racing number, currently with Ferrari and Formula One. Holds 7 world. Oh, wow. So 44 is a power number for sure then. Hi, Nani. Nani, I love that it's Nani Live in Peace. That's so sweet. Myra J. Hey, honey. Kelly Jensen. Thanks for popping by, hun. Gigi, I am her. So wonderful to see you. Nick in Australia. Hi, hun. Lauren, so glad to see you over here also. Awkwardly lit. I love your name. It's so perfect. I feel like I share that. RT, excuse me. Feeling my soul. I love the little parrot. That's so cute. And Roberts, hey, hey. Thanks for being here. All right, you guys, have a wonderful night or a good day. Anisha chat too. Thank you, babe. Bruce Reed. Good night, Moon. Thanks, Bruce. All right, you guys, take care. Bye for now. Sweet. Thank you.